What's up, Taiwan? I'm Jaime Ocon with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Chip giant TSMC has recorded its second highest monthly sales in almost 40 years, a sign of recovery in the demand for consumer electronics. The Taiwanese chipmaker hit $7.3 billion in consolidated sales in April, up 60% from this time last year. Meanwhile, its shares also soared to an all-time high last month. Tech analysts say demand for high-performance computing continues to feed TSMC's lead as the maker of the world's most advanced semiconductors. Its clients like Apple and Nvidia have been racing to come out with new, more powerful devices. Almost 30% of pregnant physicians in Taiwan are made to work night shifts. That's according to a new survey by the Taipei Doctors Union, and it's calling on the health ministry for better protections. Joyce Sung reports.
Staying on the job while pregnant is extra challenging for Taiwan's physicians. That's according to a doctors' union in Taipei, whose latest survey showed 27% of pregnant physicians were forced to work the night shift. Representing his female colleagues, the union's secretary general says some doctors choose to pay their way out of an overnight stint.
怀孕了，我已经被排班了，我还要花钱去请同事帮我值班。 让我可以晚上好好的休息跟睡觉。
The union says these shift assignments violate the rights of pregnant women and are calling on the health ministry to make changes. The ministry is set to submit new laws to Taiwan's incoming administration after it takes office on May 20th. But limits to working hours are not expected, which a health ministry official says respects each physician's willingness to work.
经过医师本人同意。 是可以让这个怀孕期间的女性医师在晚上10点到隔日清晨6点的时间内合理安排工作。
Aside from night shifts, the doctors' union also says more protection is needed against sexual harassment. In their survey of nearly 300 physicians, nearly 68% of the women said they experienced sexual harassment. Out of these doctors, 3% of them reported the incident. Meanwhile, almost 23% of men experienced sexual harassment, which all went unreported.
年轻医师则是反映遭遇性骚扰时没有办法申诉，主要是担心影响未来的升迁以及专科医师，也就是主治医师的资格取得。
The union says it wants more protections specific to the medical field, on top of current laws which target sexual harassment in schools and general workplaces. As for working while pregnant, the health ministry says their proposal includes fining hospitals $3,000 for making doctors work against their will, a solution they say respects physicians' rights and their free choice to work. Eason Chen and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
As Taiwan prepares to welcome a new president, the LGBTQ+ community looks back on the rights they've gained while Tsai Ing-wen was in office. Reese Ayers reports.
Just a presidential hopeful at the time, Tsai Ing-wen declares her support for same-sex marriage in a video ahead of the 2016 general election.
在爱之前，大家都是平等的。我是蔡英文，我支持婚姻平权，让每一个人都可以自由去爱，追求幸福。
Tsai went on to win that election, beginning the most progressive era for LGBTQ+ rights in Taiwan's history. The Tsai administration wasn't the first to propose queer-friendly legislation. Bills and amendments put forward by her Democratic Progressive Party, or DPP, had stalled and failed on several occasions before. But pro-LGBTQ+ politicians quickly got to work after the 2016 change in government.
今天是更聚焦说，到底是要修民法，还是要修特别法，制定特别法？那当然，制定特别法，这里就牵涉到的到底是同性婚姻法还是同性伴侣法。
During its first year, the Tsai administration also appointed Audrey Tang to a ministerial position, the first openly trans person to hold a spot in the executive cabinet. The health ministry also banned conversion therapy. Then, in spring 2017, veteran activist Jaime took Taiwan's constitution to court.
过去的那样子不给同性婚姻法律的保障的要求，是非常非常糟糕 ，terrible 的。
Cheese and other cases got the ball moving, though marriage equality bills faced fierce opposition in government, leading to a referendum at the end of 2018 that revealed a more conservative public attitude than expected.
那今天的这个结果，其实也显示了在台湾的这个公投元年，所有的进步议题其实遭受到强大保守势力的反扑。那我们也非常清楚的看到，我们还需要更多的练习，这个社会才能进入到理性思辨的公民社会的阶段。
Taiwan's people voted against changing the definition of marriage in the civil code, but did agree to protections for same-sex couples through other legal means.
The result of a referendum is a discussion about in what way should we amend the law. So at the end, the government just have to obey the referendum and to provide a separate law rather than to amend our civil code.
In May 2019, that separate law paved the way for Taiwan to become the first country in Asia to legalize same-sex marriage.
台湾的人们可以选择自己要投票给谁，可以选择自己跟谁结婚。
But that separate law wasn't made equal. Some same-sex partners with different nationalities still couldn't marry or have the same adoption rights as heterosexual couples.
Co-adoption is another issue because, according to the law, it secured the marriage relation between two people, but not necessarily of their children.
But in 2023, after years of advocacy, full adoption rights were given to same-sex couples. And then DPP Premier Su Jin-tang announced all couples could wed regardless of nationality, except if they're from China. There's been progress for the trans community too. Since 2021, trans people no longer need proof of surgery to legally change their gender. Though rights groups say transgender people still face systematic discrimination in Taiwan.
Taiwan is still suffering from binary gender system in daily life, in the workplace, in house care settings.
And activists say there are also other issues that need addressing.
The right to use reproductive technology and also surrogacy and also transnational marriage between Taiwanese and Chinese. For gay men in Taiwan, we still cannot do blood donation.
And LGBTQ plus representation in politics has been underwhelming.
But in terms of the politician, the LGBT community participate in politics, the percentage actually was quite low. And right now we only have, I think, 2 to 3.
But with Tsai's VP Lai Ching-te, who is now a vocal supporter of LGBTQ plus rights, about to take the reins, he looks set to continue the momentum already built.
未来我会跟大家站在一起，在多元同行的路上一起迈进。
So as Tsai's final term as president comes to an end, and the country reflects on her tenure, progress for LGBTQ plus rights will be one of the highlights of her administration's legacy. Dolphin Chen and Resays for TaiwanPlus.
Tune in every day next week for more of our series looking back on Tsai Ing-wen's presidency. Public support for same-sex marriage and other LGBTQ plus issues is increasing. A new government poll shows that almost 70% of people now support same-sex marriage, up over 6 points since last year and almost double the rate from 2018. Taiwan legalized same-sex marriage in 2019. The survey also showed almost 60% support for single women or women in same-sex relationships giving birth using donated sperm, something they are currently unable to do. Some lucky pups have found their owners again after getting lost in southern Brazil's recent massive flooding. A group of volunteers rescues the dogs and keeps them at an improvised shelter. Thousands of people search through the Lutheran University of Brazil each day to reconnect with their furry friends. The volunteers have uploaded photos of more than 2,500 dogs to Instagram so they can be easily found. The floods have killed over 100 people and upended the lives of hundreds of thousands more. Many animals have also died.
Hi, Eu fiquei muito feliz. Alguma alegria nessa vida, né? Porque os bichinhos é a única coisa que a gente tem que são verdadeiros. Fiquei muito feliz, porque eu estava pensando que eles tinham morrido, sabe?
A two-day festival celebrating Taiwanese culture has just opened in Kyoto, Japan. Tiffany Wong was there for the opening ceremony and sent us back this report.
This Taiwanese cultural festival just kicked off in Kyoto, Japan. Not to be confused with our channel, it's also called TaiwanPlus, but it's an annual festival usually held in Tokyo that sees collaborations with Taiwanese and Japanese artists in food and music. And this year, one of Taiwan's most iconic cultural symbols is paying a special visit. That's the sea goddess Matsu. The festival attracts tens of thousands of people each year, including some who have never been to Taiwan before, but are now excited to go and visit.
I want to go try the boba over there and experience the night market culture.
まだ台湾行ったことないけど、今度11月に社員旅行で80人ぐらいで行きます。はい、私たちは歴史、日本とのいろんな歴史を学びに行きたいと思ってます。
Taiwan and Japan have a close relationship, although they're not official allies. And the organizers of the event say that they hope the event can be a celebration of that relationship, especially as both often support each other in times of need. Most recently, Japan donated $1 million to Taiwan after the April Hualien earthquake.
4月3号的时候，花莲大地震，那受到全世界的很大的关注。那最大的关注就是来自日本的温暖。我们所有的捐款里面，事实上60%来自于日本。我在这边要表现非常的感谢之意。
The festivities will continue into the next day with more special performances to come, including a collaboration between Taiwan's award-winning Puyuma Family Band and an experimental Japanese orchestra. Kamashri and Tiffany Wong in Kyoto, Japan for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's railway company is using its popular bento boxes to help raise money for victims of last month's earthquake in Hualien. As Chris Gorin explains, there's a special souvenir for customers.
These octopus clay pot meals aren't from a fancy restaurant. In fact, they're only sold on Taiwan's trains. They're part of a limited set on sale this weekend to raise money for disaster relief for last month's magnitude 7.2 earthquake in eastern Taiwan. With only 200 available, people aren't wasting any time.
大约9点0分刚过没多久就来到这里。
Bento boxes sold by the Taiwan Railway are considered among the country's best, and they're one of the things many people look forward to on their train trip. The railway has teamed up again with a Japanese company to produce these meals in special souvenir pots, made with ingredients from earthquake-hit Hualien County.
除了保留淡露屋它的特色酱煮小章鱼以外呢，那其他食材全部都是采用花莲在地的特色食材。
这边当然可以做爱心，然后又可以收藏，一举多得。
At about $12, these special bentos are about 4 times more expensive than normal ones. But for those not lucky enough to snag one of the limited editions, the company is also offering standard bentos at a discounted price of about $2 this weekend.
蛮新鲜的哈。 应该外面买不到60块钱。
Both types are expected to sell out very fast, so bento fans should wake up early because this bento train is leaving the station. Patrick Chun and Chris Gorin for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Before we go, the winner of the Eurovision Song Contest will be announced Saturday night. Here are the finalists rehearsing at the Malmö Arena in Sweden. I'm Jaime Ocon. Take care, and we'll see you next time.